If you've been trying to manifest something and it feels harder than it should, then this video is for you. I think a lot of us get to a point in our manifestation journey where we start to question whether manifestation actually works for us at all. But a lot of the time, it's not that it doesn't work, it's that we're just not aware of what's getting in the way yet. But by the end of this video, you're going to know how to notice those things more often, and just as importantly, how to break through them. I first learned about manifestation in a way that a lot of us did, by reading and watching The Secret, and at the time it absolutely blew my mind. It just lit something up inside me, and it felt like it was something that I was waiting to hear for years. The main thing I took from it was this idea that if I could ask the universe for whatever I wanted, believed it was already mine, then it would just turn up on my doorstep. And when it didn't, obviously I felt disappointed, and actually, to be honest, there were parts of me that felt really silly too. But once I get curious about something, I go all in. So I was reading, watching, filling my brain up with everything I could, manifestation related and personal growth related. So much so, I even ended up landing a job as a videographer for a really successful manifestation business coach. More on that in another video, I think, but it was quite a crazy experience. But through all this experience, I realized something that felt like the missing piece of the puzzle. You see, asking, believing, and receiving is one part of manifestation. But what The Secret didn't really go into detail with was that messy middle part that runs through the whole process, and that's alignment. So what does that actually mean, alignment? People often say to manifest anything, you have to be on the same frequency of it. You have to match the same vibe, or you have to be tuned into the right radio station. And I really like that analogy because it's simple. If you're tuned into the right radio station, then great, you're aligned. But if you're not, all you'll hear is static or a radio station that you don't want to hear. But the funny thing is, tuning into the right radio station usually isn't the hard part. What most of us struggle with is actually staying tuned into the right radio station long enough for our external reality to catch up. Because this is where the blocks live. This is the part where the blocks come in, those limiting beliefs come in. And that's why also some things feel easier to manifest than others. For example, if you grew up believing that money was hard to get and money was hard to come by, then that belief and block doesn't disappear because you want more money. Think about it. Think about a wealthy family. Someone in a wealthy family grew up around money. Do you think they're going to have the same relationship with money than you? Probably not. But then flip it. You might have found love quite naturally, and you hadn't really had to think about it. But someone else might have all the money in the world, but was cheated on, or grew up around constant arguments and things like that, and then, without even realizing it, created a block around love instead. So it's not that one person is better at manifesting than another. We're just all kind of working from different starting points, different experiences, different beliefs, and different blocks. And those blocks are what pulls you out of alignment before anything has a chance to change on the outside. So rest assured, manifestation does work for you. There's probably just some things you need to work on, some blocks that you need to let go. I mean, I've done a lot of work on my blocks, and I still have some. To be honest with you, I'm still yet to meet someone who doesn't have blocks in this day and age. But releasing blocks is a lot easier than you think. I know you're probably thinking, well, it can't be that easy because you're a manifestation coach and still have blocks. But that's because actually noticing certain blocks is a real quiet process and can be really hard to spot sometimes. I've been reading The Untethered Soul lately by Michael Singer, and it's brilliant. It's been so eye-opening, and if you haven't read it, then you need to read it because it will change your life. But there was this one part in it that I've really kind of held on to, and it's about like disturbances of the heart. He talks about how the heart is like an energy center and how you are constantly experiencing life through it. What you see, what you hear, what happens around you. And most of the time, things just pass through you. But every so often, something hits a nerve. He gives an example where you might be out driving, minding your own business, and then you see a blue car. which happens to be the same model your ex used to have, the ex that cheated on you. And in that moment, you remember the day you found out. You remember seeing them in that car with someone else. You remember how it felt in your body. Nothing new has actually happened. You're just driving. But suddenly there's a disturbance. Your chest tightens, your mood shifts, and your mind starts playing the whole story as if it was happening right now. But that's the thing, isn't it? The reaction isn't about the blue car at all. It's about what that experience created in that moment, that block, that belief that was never fully released. And this is where it ties back to manifestation, because those disturbances are the blocks. They're the things that are getting in the way. They're the moments where old experiences, old emotions, and old stories still live inside us, quietly influencing how safe we feel, how open we are, and ultimately how much we trust. So when we talk about releasing blocks, it's not about digging everything up and trying to fix ourselves. It's about noticing those moments, seeing when something triggers you, and instead of resisting it and pushing it away, let it pass through you without creating a whole new story around it. That's why releasing blocks is such a quiet process, because it doesn't look like a breakthrough. It looks like not reacting to something the way you used to. It looks like staying open when you would normally close up. So how do we actually let go? It's a lot simpler than we think. From what I understand and now live by is this. When something inside you gets triggered, you let that emotion show itself. You let that tightness be there and you let the disturbance rise. But what you don't do is follow the voice inside your head that tries to pull you into fear. You don't start replaying the story. You don't sit in the fear of panic or shame. You stay with what you're feeling without judging it. You breathe through it, you remind yourself you're safe, and you let it pass through you without building your identity around it. Most of the time that feeling will last a minute or so, and no, it probably won't disappear forever the first time, so you have to do it again and again. But the more you do, the easier it gets. Not because the feeling doesn't show up anymore, but because you get good at letting it pass through you rather than letting it take over you. And honestly, that is how a block loses its power. You'll notice you'll feel lighter afterwards, more calm, more settled. And over time, those moments stop pulling you out of alignment so easily. That's how you stay tuned in for longer, not by forcing yourself to feel good, but by not feeding what comes up when you don't feel good. Woof. Okay, I feel like that is a really good place to end the video. I felt this video with all my soul, and I hope you did too. If you did resonate with it, please do let me know in the comments below, because I'd love to hear from you. And if you feel like sticking around, if you're not subscribed already, feel free to subscribe. I'd love to have you here. But yeah, this does bring us to the end of this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.